Hello, this is David Newby from FinancialPlanning202.com and also YourProsperityPower.com. I'm here today to talk to you about financial advice and where you get it from. Well, the media has been pretty negative lately. You've probably seen just every day the gloom and doom. When the stock market is up 800 points, which happened a few weeks ago, that doesn't always make the headlines. And when the stock market is down 800 points, those kind of stories are in the headlines a lot more. So I want to talk to you today about where you get financial advice from, what's in it for the people who are giving the advice, and how you can filter through what you're seeing out there and information you're receiving and choose the information that's best for you so that you can protect yourself and your family. First of all, I want to talk really quick about the traditional system. The traditional system is you get a job, you start contributing to your 401k because your employer tells you you should do that, and that's a smart thing to do. And a lot of people start getting mutual funds, and when you have more money, you start getting stocks and bonds and individual stocks, maybe even some hedge funds. So I want to take a look really quick at what's in it for the people that are advising you to invest in these different kind of things. Well, first of all, when you do a 401k, you're limiting yourself unknowingly because you're putting yourself in pretty much only mutual funds, and that's it. And I talk about in my book how you want to diversify into more sectors of the global economy than just mutual funds. Because really the only way you can invest in the global economy is in stocks when you're in mutual funds, and I think that's very limiting. We live in a global economy now. It's no longer just the U.S. economy. If you're an American, it's no longer good enough just to keep track of what's going on in America. You actually have to keep track of what's going on globally. And so first of all, that limits you right there. What's in it for the government to encourage you to do a 401k? More tax money for them when you retire. When you start to invest in mutual funds, or you want to invest, usually people go and talk to a certified financial planner or a stockbroker. All great people. Let's just look at the system and see, does the system really serve you or not? When you go to invest in stocks and in the mutual funds, what's in it for the person recommending that you invest in those things? Well, if you're talking to a stockbroker or a financial planner, what's in it for them is the more you invest with them, the bigger commissions you make. And sadly, a lot of times the lower the performing the investment does for you as the client, the bigger commission they make. So it's not that they're bad people at all. The system is just rigged against you as the consumer and creates conflict of interest for the stockbroker or for the financial planner. Let's take a quick real-life scenario. Probably maybe it happened to you or someone that you've known in the last year. The stock market is down throughout 2008, about 40% plus. If you called your stockbroker in the summer or in the last couple of months and said, hey, I want to cash out, I want to put all my money in cash, they probably recommended to you, don't do that, leave your money in the market. Well, that may be a smart thing to do. It may not be. If you're going to dollar cost average over time, that is a smart thing to do. If you're 60 years old and you're ready to retire, that may be really, really bad advice. But what's in it for them? What's in it for them is if you leave your money in the mutual fund or in the stocks, they're going to continue to make commissions when you buy and sell, and just leaving the money in there. So they have an incentive to tell you to leave the money in the market. Does that conflict of interest with them really serve you? I choose to think that it doesn't serve you. It's up to you to decide what's best for you. Now let's also look at the results that they have. They're also probably getting pressure from their boss about, if a client calls you to cash stuff out, don't do it. Encourage them to leave their money in the market. I actually heard the story from a friend of an acquaintance of theirs who called in early July, and that was when the market was only down about 20% for the year. They fell a lot in October. And said he wanted to cash out and put all of his stuff in cash. And his financial planner advised him to leave his money in the market, and the market would go back up. And now he's down another 20%, and he's pretty upset that he did that. So we're all responsible for our own actions. And I want to encourage you to realize that there is an internal conflict of interest when you ask your financial planner for advice. I was just looking on Amazon the other day, and there's a book talking about the coming depression. I'm not a futurist. I'm not in the business of predicting the future. Only God knows the future, in my opinion. And all that we can do is look to be wise with what we have, with the resources we have available to us. So in this book, this gentleman is talking about how the market will probably fall a lot in 2009, probably go back up the end of 2009, and then in 2010 he thinks things could potentially get a lot worse. And I don't want that for the future. It could happen. Things could get a lot better in 2010. They could get a lot worse. If they do get worse, I want you to ask yourself, what am I doing to prepare for if things do get a lot worse? Am I financially prepared? And only you know the answer to that. And if you don't feel like you're prepared, then I'd encourage you to get some new information. If you're going to look at investing advice, I'd encourage you to look at the results of someone that you're talking to. If your financial planner or your stockbroker is not making more money than you are, sort of a joke that stockbrokers are called brokers because they make you broker. I'm not pro or anti-stockbroker. There are a lot of really good ones, and there are a lot of them who just put you in mutual funds, and that's it. The fact of the matter is you should look at their results. So just know, first of all, that they do have an inherent conflict of interest. It's not their fault. It's the way the system is set up. And number two, if you're looking at unplugging from that system, taking more control of your finances, you want to look at, well, who should I look to follow the advice of? One, ask yourself, what's in it for them? If some guy runs a trading fund and he gets 6% of the profits that you make, or like a hedge fund, 6 and 20, if they make 20% of the profits that you're going to make, well, they're probably going to tell you whatever they can to get you to invest with them because they get a percentage of your profits. Like me, I'm an author, and I have financial courses and products. If you buy my products, I make money off the sale of the product. I don't make money whether you invest $10,000 in an investment or whether you invest $10 million in an investment. I make the same amount of thing off of my information that I sell. So I just want you to become a more savvy and wiser investor in looking at what's in it for the person giving me the advice. And number two, what are their results? So I just want to encourage you, when it comes down to investments, look at the source, look at what's in it for them, what's in it for the person giving me the advice. And if they're going to make a huge commission off of you making a particular investment decision, I'd encourage you to get some more information. Talk to and look at what really savvy people do. Look at what really wealthy people do. There's an ancient Hebrew proverb that says that wisdom is found in a multitude of counselors. So don't just listen to your stockbroker. Don't just listen to your financial planner. Educate yourself. Get some information from people who have no financial incentive or nothing to gain by giving you some financial input. Make sure they have results, and then you can make a much more informed and much smarter decision. I encourage you, no matter what you do, definitely don't just let fear dictate what you're doing. That's a huge recipe for disaster. I talked to someone earlier today who talked to a gentleman who's worth $5 million, and he's looking at investing, under $100,000 with this acquaintance of mine. Now, what's interesting is this gentleman worth $5 million has a history of successful investments with my acquaintance. So why it's interesting is that right now the gentleman is hesitant to make an investment because of what's going on in the economy. Well, even more than that, he's listening to someone that he knows who has no job and who sits around watching TV all day, CNN of all things. I'm not pro or anti-CNN. It's just that they usually have a negative slant on what's going on in the world. And this really wealthy person is getting advice and listening to someone who has no financial results and who is letting fear run their mind. I mean, all they're putting into their mind is negativity all day long. So if you're worth $5 million, whether you're worth $50,000, if you're worth $200 million, Don't listen to people who are letting fear run their life when you're looking to make important decisions. Listen to people who are out there in the game, who are making things happen. There's so many opportunities out there right now. It's amazing. You can get access to capital. You can take advantage of phenomenal opportunities. It just takes some work to get information and input from the right people who are making things happen, who have results, who have nothing to gain from giving you some good information. And by the way, that doesn't mean look for people who are only willing to give free advice. I'm saying when you're looking to make an investment, don't only listen to the people who stand to gain if you choose to invest in a particular thing. I trust this information has been very helpful to you, and it's going to help you get what you want. I encourage you to go for more and to seize opportunity. This is David Newby signing off. If you have any comments for me, please do go to my blog at davidroynewby.com and post your comments there, and I look forward to hearing of your great financial results soon. Leverage all you've got to get all that you want. See you the next time.